Good morning, everybody. Day 2. Let's go, man. I can't wait. I actually overslept a little bit, but let's go. So, this was all from yesterday. This is the pile of everything that I got signed, which is a good chunk, right? This is the leftover that I did not get signed. I could have. I just, for whatever reason, I chose not to. I guess save money. But $5. Marat Michaels was only charging $5 per signature. So was Joshua Williamson. So what I think I might do is take these today to get signed. So here's the pile. Hopefully I can get Jim Shooter. He was the editor on these. So hopefully I can get Jim Shooter to sign. I don't know what his prices were or are. So we'll check that out. I can't do too expensive because I am on a budget. That's why I have to kind of pass on Frank Miller and Joe Quesada, unfortunately. So, but anyway, I'm going to see what Jim Shooter prices are. And hopefully they're not bad because I would love to get these signed. So I have that. Yeah, Ed McGuinness. Hopefully he's here today. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to get this signed. And then these are my Comics and Chaos comics that I'm going to get signed. So Amazing Fantasy 1000, Ryan Stegman. Vanish, #1, Ryan Stegman. Crypt of Shadows, #1, Ryan Stegman. And then Gary Duggan, The Despicable Deadpool, and then now Otley, Carnage, Black, White, and Blood, which is also, I can also get Benjamin Piercy to sign this as well. So that could be double signed. Now, the problem is, on Comics and Chaos, I can get 4 signatures. I have 5 comics. So I have to narrow it down. So I definitely am going to get the Deadpool and Carnage signed. So I have to kind of figure out from Ryan Stegman, which one of these I want to kind of pass on getting signed. Vanish is definitely going to get signed. I'm kind of leaning on Crypt of Shadows being the odd man out, but I don't know. I'm going to bring them all anyway, just to bring it and then see what happens. So yeah. So that's I'm going to bring these too. To get Joshua Williamson to sign these too. So that's my goal for the day as far as signatures. I'm going to kind of cut back a lot on signature hunting today. But yeah, not bad. Like I said, I'm going to try to cut back a lot today on signature hunting. I'm going to get some, but I want to kind of look at more of the comic book vendors and things like that a little bit more today. So we'll see what they got. I love the dollar comics, man. You can find some good stuff in there, but there's some other stuff too that I could potentially get if I come across, hopefully. So yeah, MegaCon day 2, man. Let's go. Day 2 begins now. Man, I think I hit that sweet spot because this is where it was like packed right before they opened. And I just got here 9:52. Yep, I hit that sweet spot. I like it. So yesterday when I was standing in the exclusive line, I was all the way back there, kind of where that guy is in the yellow. And I had to go all the way over here. Now right now, there's no line for the exclusives. Check this out, man. I wish I was as lucky yesterday, but that's cool. There it is. And it's signed. Man, I would love to. I don't have the money for it. Man, oh man.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of good stuff though. It's panel time. Let's go see. Let's go check out who we're gonna go see right now. And it's the guy that makes you feel like he's your best friend. Joshua Williamson. Let's go.
No. See, I think we're all starting to figure that out. So like the real fans, actually, okay, this is off subject, but kind of on subject. How many of you guys have ever been to Disney World or Disneyland? Okay, so I literally just went for the first time yesterday, right? To Disneyland. Yeah, Magic Kingdom, and it's all fireworks and all that stuff. But as I understand it, there's like a culture that knows how things work a little like deeper. So then I'm starting to think like, are we starting to see Comic-Con culture do that? Where
my writer says I'm not classed.
No, that's a good move though. Just walk in just for the applause and then I got my fix, I'm good, I can leave now.
Yeah, see, I should do that. See you guys later. Yeah, no. Well, thank you guys all for joining us today, and thank all of you. We got a packed house, we've got a lot to cover, so we're just gonna jump right into it, if that's cool with everybody. So first up, I want to talk about this monumental Flash 800. And Jeff, we'll start with you. So it was recently announced that you'd be providing a story for this sort of epic, oversized issue. And we actually have some art that has not been shown before, which by the amazing Scott Collins, for the first time today. What can you tell us about this story and returning to the Flash?
It's kind of like I guess an epilogue to our Blitz run that we did 100 years ago.
We're trying to explore like Superman's increased power level right now. So we saw him in World kind of like having lost a step power-wise, and how he can hang. You know, when he's lost a step, and now he's been with the White Sun, Star Forces, and World. He's stronger than he's been forever. Like back when I was a kid, we'd see him like flying through these rings, going back decades at a time, and just like pulling planets by chains. And like I can do literally anything. We wanted to see him just explore his power levels a little more. So here he just flies up above Metropolis, and he's just trying to find them by hearing their heartbeat in the sea of millions. So he's just listening to everyone's heartbeat and talking about how all the citizens of Metropolis, he wishes that people could hear the fact that they are all part of it. He hears this collective thrum of humanity all across the world that is all our collective heartbeats, and he's kind of sifting through them for two specific ones.
So Action's actually an oversized title with you writing the lead story. And in the backup, you have industry legend and the author of, I guess, just most famous Superman story of all time, Dan Jurgens writing the backups.
Yeah,
Is
Dan
that sort of
Jurgens.
like the ultimate sort of engineering nerd moment?
Yeah, working with that, yeah, completely. I mean, working with Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks too is like, just doesn't make sense. I mean, like, I grew up on those stories. As a kid, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, I mean, for an hour plus from the nearest comic store, just like darkest Kentucky, like nothing around anywhere. And the only comics I could find were like secondhand stuff, or occasional like spinner rack stuff, but even those were far away. And when I was finally able to like get a hold of some comics, they were largely Dan Jurgens Superman comics. And working on a book with him just is nuts. I just feel disrespectful even like saying the word Dan and not Mr. Jurgens.
He's definitely Mr. Dude, I mean,
Yeah, it really doesn't like anybody call him
Philip Ted over there. I love it. So actually, Philip, we have another project too.
I'm Italian, I try to explain my best, but sorry, okay. Go first. Yeah, I'm here and I'm so proud to announce that I'm the artist of the new Batman and Robin series with Joshua Williamson. A dream come true for me. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is the wraparound issue 1 cover. So, Josh, how did this come about? Batman and Robin, what?
So 2 years ago when I started working on Batman with you, I was also doing Robin around the same time, but I also knew that my Batman run would end and then Chip was going to take over and I was going to run Dark Crisis, but I also knew that Robin was going to end and we were going to go into Batman with Robin and I was planning. But I had so many more stories with both those characters that I wanted to tell. And, I love Damon. He's my favorite Robin. I always joke, I feel like he's my little baby boy. I'm protective of him, I'm very precious about him. And I wasn't done. That's basically how I felt about it. And so even long before we announced that I was leaving Robin and leaving Batman, I went to Ben and I said that I'm not done. I still have a lot more stories to tell with these characters. And then I just asked Ben, I was like, I want to do a Batman and Robin book, what do you think? And he jumped at it,
Yeah. I think I had like a board in my office in Burbank that Batman and Robin was on the top of the list of like dream projects someday. So it actually definitely aligned.
Yeah, it worked out. And so then for the last year, it's been on my mind, something I wanted to do. And I felt like it was one of the biggest secrets I was keeping. Because even when I was leaving, same with you, you were real good. You didn't tell anybody, dude. He went to a convention in Italy, I think, and you wouldn't even tell James. Like, you were like, I'm working on something, but I can't tell you what it is. And I was like, and then James was like, it's Batman and Robin, right? Because James is one of my closest friends. Like, he knows everything. But so, for the last year, we've been talking about what we're working on. So even when I was leaving Robin and I was leaving Batman, I didn't tell anybody. So it was hard because I wanted to be like, the story's not over, it will continue. It'll continue next year in this September. And so then Ben had suggested this morning, I've been a fan of this place for a long time, so I was like, yes, let's do it. He and I met at New York Comic Con for the first time, and we just sat there with lunch with Ben. We started just talking ideas. The first thing I asked him, I emailed you long before. Well, he was doing covers for Robin too, so that was part of it. There was like connective tissue. But I emailed you and I was like, what do you want to draw? Like, what do you want to do? We're doing Batman and Robin, what are the villains, what are the locations? And you were like, I want to do Arkham Asylum. And I was like, we blew it up. We gotta figure something out. So I was like, we'll figure it out though. We'll figure out flashbacks. So we've been talking ever since then. And yeah, issue 1's done. It doesn't come to September, issue 1's done. It looks amazing. Yeah, so instead of Arkham Asylum, we're gonna go to Gotham Zoo. Anyone that knows me knows I'm obsessed with the Batman Returns movie. And at the beginning of that movie, they go to the aquarium actually. But with this, so the Gotham Zoo, without getting too much of the spoilers, plays a major set piece in the book. But to me, with the big parts of the book is that at this point, I feel like Bruce and Damian, they know how to be Batman and Robin. Like, they've had their war. At this point, they're Batman and Robin. They're back together, but they kind of don't know how to be father and son right now. And before, when they were living with each other, they were father and son. They had an Alfred. And now they're having to live with each other, and there's no Alfred to act as that buffer, to act as that basically that other parent, with that relationship. And so I wanted to put them back together and see how they come back together, not just as these two heroes, but how they are as father and son, knowing that Alfred is gone, he's not there. One of the things you'll kind of notice is that, Damian, he was trained by Talia, the League of Assassins. He's was trained by Ray, he was trained by Bruce. He was also trained by Alfred. And so I want to play up those ideas of showing that relationship and how he was trained by Alfred and how that impacts his relationship with Bruce when he sees Bruce going through hardships. And part of what Bruce is missing is Alfred, and Damien seeing that and saying, how do I help my father this way that Alfred would help him? So a lot of this stuff is stuff we're putting in the book, and there's a lot of really fun stuff. If anyone read Robin, you know that we had a thing in there with Robin reading manga. That is going to continue in a new form that we're working on. I think you'll be excited to see what the next step for Damien is manga fandom, what the role it takes on next for him. But yeah, the first issue is beautiful. Simone did an amazing job. So he has a bunch of answers. Go for it.
I've read some answer because I think in Italian it's a problem. It's a real problem. Yeah. So
His English is great, right?
No.
I understand every word you say. I don't know what you're nervous about, but go ahead.
Thanks. I'm loving working in series because it's a perfect mix between dynamic situation with partner Robin and family relationship. It's beautiful because I can draw something dynamic and something family in the same book. I'm so happy. It's really a dream come true because I'm a big fan of Batman since when I was a child, and I see for the first time Batman animated series, and I'm so proud of this book. Absolutely.
It's beautiful looking. Yeah, the first issue is really, really great.
Yeah, we're really excited for it.
Oh, and Damien gets a car.
Yeah.
Damien gets a car, finally. Bruce finally lets him drive. Way back when Nightfall happened, Tim Drake got a car. It was the Redbird. He got a car then. But he had this like nice, sleek car, like this little hot rod thing, and I was like, Damien is so much more rough around the edges, and I was like, he's gonna have a Mad Max car. Like he's gonna have this like off-road or like ATV that he's running around and that Gotham with. So he's the one driving this time. That's been really fun. Yeah, you had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah.
There's a whole sequence in the first issue where Bruce basically is like, I'm gonna drive, and David's like, oh, I have something. And then they turn the page and
It's difficult to draw a car in that sequence, but okay. I'm sorry.
And Batman is not used to his son driving. It's really fun.
I love it. So Simone, when you're not designing dune buggies or drawing beautiful interior pages, you're also an award-winning cover artist. You've done a lot of covers for me. You're the lead cover artist actually on Batman, Brave and the Bold. Just sort of a process.
So I think it's official. Joshua Williamson is one of my top favorite comic creators now, man. He's such a cool guy. Plus, I talked to him a little bit after the panel. He actually remembered me, man, because I told him that announcement, Batman and Robin, like, blew my mind. It changed my life, man. I told him that, and he's like, man, I told you from, because I talked to him yesterday and got a bunch of stuff signed from him yesterday. So, man, one, he remembered me, and then two, that announcement, man. Plus all the other Superman stuff that they talked about in the panel and everything. Awesome, man. I love all the insight that he gives on everything. So, man, good times, man. Good times. So I got about an hour to kill now for Comics and Chaos. Can't wait for that. Man, it's later in the day on Friday, man. It's packed. Your fan experience starts here, man. This place is awesome. I haven't been over there yet with the cosplay stuff. I might go check that out. I have about an hour to kill before Comics and Chaos. But yeah. Look at Ariel. Alright, let's go walk around. Let's go check out the arcade.
Oh no, why?
Genesis. Wow. It's taking it back. GameCube, Nintendo 64. Wow. Now this is pretty cool, man. This reminds me of my childhood. These are the video games that I grew up with. This is so awesome.
Outside of this panel, who are some of the young, thank you,
Thank you, and I agree with that.
who are some of the young up and coming like artists and authors that you guys find are gonna grow into something?
Screw those guys, they're taking our jobs.
I don't know if I. Otley, you might have somebody. Like, who are you reading lately that you think is like young and really good?
I don't. That's a nice way of saying we're all
It's hard to
old,
say
by the
how old
way.
people are, but I assume like Justin Mason. Have you seen that guy's art?
Yeah, oh yeah, I know Justin.
Amazing art. Yeah. So I think this one places. There's quite a few of them. Yeah. Names escaping.
He's 45.
Is he? Oh shit.
No, he's not.
The other writers in the X office right now, like there's really young, diverse group of writers that and writers too that are maybe not so young, but that I hadn't read yet, like Victor Lavalley. I'm not pronouncing that. Yeah, I just crushed Sabretooth Beyond Belief and all like so. It is funny. It's like I barely know anyone's age, but like Alyssa Wong's their Deadpool is incredible. I'm a fan for life now, and who else?
Simone DeMayo's at this show.
Yeah.
Simone, every
Yeah.
time I see, every time I see his work, it like makes me panic. 'Cause it's like, oh, that's the future, and I'm doing like old stuff, old people stuff.
Old man Stegman.
I don't know how old. I haven't met him. But he has a table, but I haven't seen him.
We'll go visit. What was your question?
Statement. You're doing your Spanish right now, and I was wondering if you're long run on Venom. Do you like working on Spanish more than Venom, and like what's different, especially with like the publisher, Marvel and MHP, so different? Like,
So I wouldn't say I like it more. I enjoy both. But Jordan's sitting here. The truth is, I don't think I realized how much the editors were doing to run interference between me and the things that are annoying about putting a comic book out. So I've learned that the hard way. I don't mind it. I've learned how to deal with it over time. But there's a lot more of me having to get on the phone with people and make decisions that I don't normally have to make. I really, my favorite thing in the world is to draw, right? And there's a lot more administrative stuff with the creator owns that I could really live without. But as I've been doing it, I've kind of like figured out how to, delegate to other people on the team, do that stuff.
Your boys are almost old enough to put to work.
Yeah, exactly. But they're gonna be bad workers. But
you'll have the pleasure of firing them.
Yeah. But yeah, they're two totally different animals. But the drawing stuff. So I'm writing. I co-write Danish too. So I do a lot of that, the heavy lifting there too. So that's it. It's been a really interesting little process. I enjoy that, but I don't trade the better stuff.
It's also, I mean, when you do create your own stuff, you get to do stuff. Nobody's really telling you what to do, like this bastard right here. Yeah. you basically.
No exit wounds.
Yeah, no exit wounds. Green blood and all that shit, you know. Yeah, exactly. I hate that. But you know, especially when you're working for Marvel, DC, corporate comics, at the end of the day, they're not your characters. You come and you play in the toy box, but they're not your toys. You got to put them away afterwards. When you create your own stuff, you do what the hell you want. You know what I mean? For the most part. You know?
Yeah, I can't believe like sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm like, because I'm co-writing it, right? Like I sit down with the script that I have in the morning. And it's not really, it's kind of like this loose thing. And then like, what if this happened entirely differently? And then I just do that page that day and I'm like, well now we're off on a different course. And so that's fun. But I mean, again, like my life is harder because of it. So
You have to consult Josh about that. Can you do that?
sort of, yeah. Like most of the time he is into it. So you know, I mean, if I make a big change, then I'm not going to change the full arc of the story. You know, like, we're still going to get to the same ending.
Don't make Josh mad.
Yeah.
As he plays.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that's a wrap. Day 2 in the books. Let's get back to the hotel and see what I got today. So day 2 of Comic-Con is in the books. Man, I just got back to the hotel. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but today was a really awesome day. I cut back a little bit on trying to autograph hunt to a certain extent, although I did get a few that you'll see here in a minute. Aside from the Comics and Chaos, that was fun. But man, going to the Josh Williamson panel, that was a lot of fun, a lot of insight. He talked a lot about Superman. He talked a little bit about Darkrai, but mostly Superman. And one thing that stuck out to me about that panel was when he was talking about how Jamal Campbell, when he was drawing everything, Jamal Campbell, he liked like the big capes, right? And he said when you go from panel to panel, if you notice, and I honestly I didn't really notice this, but sometimes the cape is larger than other panels and stuff. And Joshua, he said he was kind of joking with Jamal about the cape and stuff, and he called it the Spawn cape, and because it was like it's big and flowy and kind of, you know, that kind of deal. And Jamal Campbell didn't even realize it. Like, he did not even realize it. And so it was kind of funny to hear a little backstory to that. And man, you know, and then Joshua Williamson, man, like I said, he's definitely skyrocketed. Like, not that I wasn't a fan of his already. Like, I was already a pretty solid fan of his, but actually meeting him and talking to him and interacting with him, man, he's just like really skyrocketed towards like the top of my list, man. Super cool guy, man. Like, you can talk to him like you've been friends for forever. Very, very cool guy, man. So it also helps that I like a lot of his work as well. So with that being said, the DC panel, I loved the reveal that was announced, the Batman and Robin #1, that's coming out in September. And the fact that Robin is going to have his own vehicle and stuff, and as you could see in I actually got that on video, the announcement, thankfully, and when he talks about the vehicle for Robin and stuff. So thought that was really cool, got me really more excited. Now at the end of that whole panel, the DC panel, I talked to Joshua a little bit more, and what was funny is I thought this earned like major fan points for me with him. Is, you know, people were talking and approaching him and talking and stuff. And I'm just standing there or whatever, and he's talking to this couple that were like ahead of me, which is cool. And as he's talking to them, he kind of reaches his hand out and shakes my hand and stuff. And I'm like, this, that was a big deal for me, because like I was like, man, this guy, I'm a nobody, and he's a somebody in this world. And he remembered me enough to reach out. And even further, when I talked to him afterwards, I told him, I was like, man, this announcement was a life changer for me, man. I'm super, super excited about Batman and Robin. And he was like, man, I told you I had this, an announcement or whatever. Because yesterday when I went to his booth, he told me that, there's something coming. There's an announcement. I can't say anything yet, but so he told me, and he remembered our conversation. So that meant a lot to me. So yeah, man, Joshua Williamson, he's definitely skyrocketed towards the top of my list as favorite creators. And then the Comics and Chaos, that was pretty awesome. Donnie Cates was not there, unfortunately, because he came down with COVID, and so naturally he wasn't able to make it. So I hope he's gonna be okay. Pray for the best. I'm sure he'll be fine. But Gary Duggan was the person who took his place, and man, it was entertaining. Gary Duggan, he's a funny guy, man. He's like a little bit of an old school cat, but like I like him, man. He's cool. So that was a fun panel. It was like more of a Q&A kind of panel. So a lot of questions were asked. I can't even remember all the questions, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was definitely worth it. I did the cheaper of the two. They had two options. So I did the cheaper of the two options, the $50 one. So I was able to get 4 things signed. In addition to a selfie, I took a selfie with the 4 of them. I'm not a fan of how I kind of turned out in the picture, but it was a good selfie. They advertised it as a selfie, but it really wasn't a selfie. I handed my phone to the lady and she took the picture. So I don't know why I'm calling it a selfie. Whatever. Anyway, so you got the picture, you got 4 autographs in any kind of combination on your stuff, and as well as a lithograph or a print or whatever. So the print was actually a Ryan Stegman Vanish. I hope I can get this whole thing in here. Now the print, you get four signatures on any kind of thing, plus this was like a bonus signature. So Ryan Stegman, I got him to sign right down here in the corner. I don't know how well you can see this, but pretty awesome print with Vanish. So I got that. So pretty awesome. So we're gonna go back to that, but let's go to the things, the comics that I picked up today. All right, let's do this. So if anybody remembers, last year at HeroesCon, the creator of Here Comes Calico, which is a very small independent comic book, but he goes to a lot of cons and really promotes his book. And last year I got the first 2 issues, and he was at MegaCon today, and so I picked up the issues 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now this is going to be an 8 book run, so there's going to be 2 more to come, but I'm going to be all caught up now. So issues 3 through 6 right here, and he also gave me like a free sticker right here, which is actually the sticker is actually the cover of issue number 2, I think it is. So yeah, pretty cool. So I picked up that. I also picked up Batman issue number 500, which is a foil variant. Yeah, pretty cool, man. I'm a Batman fan also, so I had to go with this. So pick that up, $5, not bad. From Harvey Boys Comics. So I don't know if you can see. And being a believer in everything, I like the fact that he put these little cards in the back like that. So yeah, Batman issue number 500. It's the it's a foil variant. Then I also picked up the Vision and the Scarlet Witch issue number 1. Yeah, awesome cover, man. Awesome. This is just awesome. I had to pick it up. So picked this up, as well as Superman issue 259. This comic book came out in December of 1972. I like getting these old comics like this, man. I was 9 years away from being born when this came out. So this comic's older than I am. And it still seems to be in pretty solid, good shape. So yeah, why not, man? I picked it up. Good add to the collection, I think. So now let's get to the Comics and Chaos and everything else that I got signed or picked up and stuff. So as I showed you, the print with Ryan Stegman's signature right there. So I'm gonna put that over there out of the way. Now, earlier in the day, Benjamin Piercy was there to he was not here yesterday because he had flight issues or whatever, I guess delays or something or whatever. So he wasn't here yesterday. So today at 11 o'clock in the morning was his first time signing. So there was a little bit of a line. So anyway, I got him to sign X-Force number 30. Bam, right there. I had to ask him. Very cool guy, man. Very deep voice, like a lumberjack kind of guy. But I asked him, I'm like, the one question I have is Deadpool going anywhere? He said no. He's too fun to write. So Deadpool is gonna be an X-Force for a while. Rightfully so. So that's good. So yeah, so I got X-Force number 30, Deadpool's return to X-Force, signed by Benjamin Piercy right here. And then I also got him to sign Carnage, Black, White, and Blood, the Ryan Ottley variant cover. And this is a good segue into Comics and Chaos. So I got Benjamin Piercy to sign right here. And then when it came to Comics and Chaos, or Chaos and Comics, whatever one. Ryan Ottley, the cover artist, signed right here. So I got Piercy and Ottley signing this comic book. So that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty awesome. And then I got my Amazing Fantasy 1000 signed by Stegman right here. He likes to do it in the corners, I've noticed a lot of times. So Ryan Stegman signed right there in the corner. So I have that signed. And then Vanish number 1, Stegman signed right here. Not in the corner, but on the side. He likes to kind of keep it compact. And that's just the ticket for Comics and Chaos. I just kind of stuck it in there to kind of, yeah. So I was hoping, because Donnie Cates was originally supposed to be there, I was hoping to get both of them to sign this, but it'll come. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then the Despicable Deadpool 290, signed by Gary Duggan. So that was pretty cool. Not bad. Not bad. And if you remember earlier, I had to find one that was going to be an odd man out, and unfortunately I was not able to get this signed, but maybe there will be a time where I can get it signed. So that is that, man. That's my day, man. I can't wait for day number 3. Tomorrow's going to be so busy. Saturday is going to be so busy and exhausting. crowded, like beyond crowded, from what I understand. So I'm fixing to go to bed here soon, rest, because I want to get there early. Hopefully, as ahead of the crowd as much as possible, if that's even going to be possible, unless I go like right now. That ain't happening. So, yeah, day number 2 in the books. Day number 3 coming soon, man. So, stay tuned for that. And yeah, after day number 3, after Saturday, WrestleMania Night 1. So I'm gonna be back here at the hotel watching that. So it's gonna be a big, long day, but a good long day. So with that being said, man, spend a lot of money on comics. So make sure you read them, because they're not gonna read themselves.